and Junior. I can't wait to see it. Um, Shout out to my man BFTB. Him and BFTB had a great little back and forth. I thought it was hilarious. BFTB is a goofball, man. Him and Brian, man, they put on a. I was laughing my butt off watching that, man. What about you, man? They had a great show. Did you get a chance to check it out?
No, I didn't see. I heard him talk about.
Yeah, they were they
I
were
didn't get a
having
chance to look at it.
they was having some good back and forth banter. It was funny. Shout out to Brian and shout out definitely to my man BF. But let me ask you this, man. So that being said, I never got this from you, but who do you have winning that fight? I want to get your opinion on who you think's gonna win that fight.
Um, I'm starting to lean towards Devin. He might outbox Brian Norman. I still think Brian Norman is going to make it a very, very competitive fight, but I think Devin might outbox him. I think Devin is going to do a lot of moving around the ring. I don't think Devin is going to be too stationary for Brian Norman to be able to land a big shot. But I mean, like I said, Brian Norman is better than what a lot of people believe he is. Um,
Yeah,
we haven't seen Brian Norman in there with this level of fighter in his past. So we're going to see if Brian Norman is up for the challenge. Um, I think Devin Haney is. It's not that I think. I know Devin Haney is more experienced than Brian Norman, but Brian Norman is still a very good fighter. And
hmm
whoever wins should definitely get much credit for the win, regardless of who wins.
yeah. That's the cool thing, man. That's a cool thing. One thing I like about Free, we getting Beanie Free right now because I hear his voice is calm. So we got Beanie Free, so we're gonna get some real stuff today. But I will say this: I'm excited for both of them, but I'll be honest. I want Brian to win, but I think Devin's gonna go in there and show out. I did a video about it earlier, and it just looks like I kind of was going through Devin's tape, and Devin done fought Linares, Devin done fought Jojo Diaz, Devin done fought Lomachenko. I mean, just the who's of the division. Devin kind of already shared the ring with him, or at least attempted to. So I just think that and I seen the fight with Buka Chica. Man, that was that fight was way too hard. That fight should have never been that hard, man. So when I seen that free, I said, "Oh, B Norm is my guy. His dad is my guy." But man, Junior is up for it because I honestly think if Devin do what he's supposed to do, he's going to win easy. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm seeing Castillo versus Floyd in this fight, where Castillo, got his rocks off. But if Devin does what he's supposed to do, I see it. My man Mike Rim said he lost the Loma fight and my Lomachenko fight, in my opinion. Once you shell shock, I'm going to get caught again. Um, that's a good point, but you got to also remember this, Mike. The master fisherman, the master angler is in the house. Um, you got to remember that Floyd Mayweather got hit real good by Sugar Shane Mosley, and I don't think he ever got hit like that again. Same thing when he got hit with Chop Chop Court. It's a fight. You're gonna get hit. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Prize. But it's a fight. You're gonna get hit. So I don't know what you think about that, Free, about people saying that. And I don't. It don't matter to me either way. I thought Loma won too, but they gave it to Devin, so I'm gonna support it. What do you think about? What do you think about that?
Well, I personally, like I said, I had that fight a draw. I thought it wanted a rematch. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have the rematch. But regardless of how I feel, I mean, Devin got his hand raised at the end of the day. Um, but I don't. A lot of times, yeah, you when you get hit, um, it frightens you, but it's also a learning tool. Devin's been knocked down multiple times now. In the Ryan fight, he was rocked against the Linares fight. Um,
Yeah,
he got wobbled a little bit against the Loma fight as well. But the one thing, like I said, he learned from those experience, and so it just because those guys was able to do it doesn't mean that the next guy is going to be able to do it. I mean, Ryan, he did something that nobody's ever done. I mean, he also had a little help with that, but he nobody else has ever done. Uh, Linares, we know that Linares is a power puncher. He didn't knock Devin down.
Mm-mm.
Um, and we know that Loma has sneaky power as well, and he didn't knock Devin down. So, like I said, just because somebody else did it doesn't mean that you're going to do it. We saw Tyson Fury knock Deontay Wilder down multiple times. The only other person that knocked Deontay Wilder down was Big Bang Zhang. That was it. Out of
Yeah.
everybody knocked him down with
Yeah.
Big Bang. So, I mean, it's gonna be an exciting fight, and we're gonna find out who's gonna be the better man that night. And like I said, regardless of who's the better man, they both need to get credit in their own way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. My man, salute to my brother Raul Garcia, man. I don't think I've ever seen you in here, Raul, but welcome to BVO Sports TV, man. We just talk boxing, man, have some fun, man. And we don't got no real rules, man. But as Pops would say, man, we don't talk about no mamas, man. You know, D Free that talked about my mama numerous times, but I didn't forgave him. But we try not to talk about no mamas. That's all we try not to do. My man, my man Sheldon said, "What fight was y'all watching? The fight where Devin almost got stopped." I don't know what you was watching. I thought Loma was gonna stop him. I thought Loma was gonna stop him. Um, yeah, I'll say this though. I know that Norman got power, but one thing I'm learning in boxing is that power don't mean ish, bro. That power don't mean ish because you can mess around and go right to bed. You can get beat to death and go to bed with that power, man. I done seen power punches on they pocket sleep, so it don't really surprise me. Suit the Queen 71 pulling up, and of
I mean,
course,
power only help you if you can land it. If you can't land it, it's just something that you possess. It doesn't mean anything if you can't land the shot. And the one thing that beats power is a great defense. If you got great defense, that power is going to be non and void. So I mean, we'll find out what happened. The fight is happening. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, everybody makes it to the ring November 22nd, and we get a chance to see a great fight.
oh yeah, and that's around Thanksgiving time because you know what I'm gonna do, Dub. I'm ready for some Black Friday shopping, man. But we got my man Varnell Hill in, and I'm not gonna bring him in without his drop.
I do it for the children. You can take the children and bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and then sing a melody. The Varnell man. Did you mean he's mine?
What's going on, right side? What you got for us, dog?
Man, what's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling, man?
Oh, bless, man. Can't complain.
Man, look, my son, he done messed around and got me sick. So if I sound a little out of order, man, it is what it is. No, I agree. I was listening to y'all kind of cook on this, but man, it's interesting because when and when Free just the point he just made as far as not being able to land your power, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting listening to Junior speak on that because every time he do an interview, he say that. He say, "Well, I can have all the power I got, but if I ain't got no delivery system, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean a damn thing." And so I saw your video earlier, BVO. I thought you was a tad bit out of order. I ain't gonna lie to
Oh,
you.
I'm jamming out of order. Okay.
Nah. But I think, man, I think you made some good points. And like Free said, if Devin come in here boxing, man, Devin a tough out for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think you just landing big shots on Devin on a regular basis unless he walking to you. And that was his mistake in the Ryan fight. But outside of that, nah, I can't wait for this. I see we got my Johnny Boy in the building, so let me be quiet, man. What's up, Johnny Boy? How you feeling, brother?
What's going on, man? You guys can hear me?
Yeah,
Yo,
we
you
can hear
Christian.
you, man.
Oh, okay, good, man. I'm not good with all this technology.
Yeah, man. I had hold on 1 second. I got a chance to meet my man Johnny Boy. That brother got some money, man. That brother got some money. Brother had a Gucci shirt
Nah,
on. He
you
got he
funny.
got some money, man.
You funny, man. You funny.
You know, I'm just a poor black man. I couldn't believe. I said, man, Johnny out here living large, man.
Nah. You funny, man.
But before we get started, I gotta ask you this because Dub Right Side and Free don't believe me. When
Yeah.
Xander came out, didn't you think Muhammad Ali was behind him? With the way they were screaming, I thought Ali was behind him.
It's going crazy, right?
I and when he got up there speaking Spanish, thanking the fans, I was like, dang, they love this guy, man. But you know,
Definitely.
we gonna talk some boxing, man. Let me ask you this: we both got a chance to see that Sergio Matias is a pretty big. That's a big Puerto Rican. Do you
Yeah.
think that? Do you think as many guys that'll be able to beat him at 140? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like Sabir Matias. He just gets hit too much. I feel like he has that that relentless pressure. He's trying to break you down and stay on top of you the whole fight. Pause. But I just think that there's other fighters that are more skillful, like Richardson Hitchens. I think he's gonna give him a problem. I think Tiafimo will beat him. And I'm Puerto Rican. I love Sabir Matias, but I just that style it doesn't last long. They're those fighters that they take all that punishment. I like to hit and not get hit. The sweet science.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: did it shock you that brother doesn't speak no English? I was shocked about that.
I know he does speak some English because one of my boys interviewed him on
Yeah.
Fight Hype, and he actually he was having a problem with that because he was trying to mix the English and the Spanish together, and he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to translate," and then he starts talking English, but it's like it's hard for him to to speak fluently.
Yeah. I'll say that because when me and Tommy went up to him and I was talking to
Right?
him in English, the nigga looked at me like I was from another planet.
I'm surprised, man. I mean, he probably struggles with it, with the English. So he probably was like, "Oh, I don't have my interpreter with me."
Nah, he probably recognized BVO talking crazy on YouTube too.
Maybe.
That brother said he didn't want no smoke with BVO, man. Now you got it. You better start some
BVO's big,
nonsense.
man. Yeah.
You better start some nonsense, man.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked that he was that tall. He about what 6'1"? He pretty
Yeah, he's
tall for
pretty tall.
140.
I'm 6'1", so he was up there. I got pictures with him too
Yeah.
at the fight. Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Yeah, I was shocked about that. I'm thinking like he should really be doing, be the guy down there. But speaking of that, man, one thing I want to ask you, when you seen that fight with Xander, did you expect him to run like he did that fight?
I thought he was using his boxing ability. He was in there with a tough fighter. Garcia's tough. And you don't want to fight, toe to toe with a fighter like that. You want to try to outpoint them. So I seen him moving his head. He was being pretty slick with it. You got to get on your bicycle sometimes when you fighting a guy like that.
Well,
No, John, I see you being
BVO
politically correct.
Hold
You
on,
know
man.
when it's blacks doing that, y'all call that Tom and Jerry. I like how you do that, John. I like how you do that. Then you put that smile on like we don't know what you're doing, man.
Man,
Now,
only
my
BVO
favorite
call
fight
that
is
running.
Pernell Whitaker. So,
Oh, he really ran. So you go ahead, Dub.
nah, he never ran, man. He stayed in the pocket right with you with no power. He don't got no power. He still stayed in the pocket.
He dropped Oscar though. I'd give him that. He dropped the old Oscar.
Yep, he did, and it ain't counting. Yeah, exactly.
But go ahead, Dub.
Now, only BVO call that running. Most of us, anybody who watching boxing, actually know. You can't force a fighter to fight no type of way. You fight to your skills. You know what I'm saying? If you end up with somebody that want to keep you at the end of their punches, you're gonna make sure you ain't at the end of their punches. It is what it is. So, but I wanted to ask this, man. I wanted to ask this. So we've been hearing a lot of talk, especially today, with Bud working with Canelo and training camp, those type of things. It seemed like people have this huge outrage that Bud is helping Canelo get ready for. Oh, excuse me, Boots is helping Canelo get ready for the Bud fight. I mean, from every as long as I've been watching boxing, fighters don't help each other continuously. You know what I'm saying? If your style is very similar, they come in and get some work. Especially if you're a young guy and you got somebody who's a first ballot Hall of Fame, in my personal opinion, in Canelo. Do you think the outrage is called for? Do you think it's out of order, as I would call it, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, as far as the culture goes, I can understand them being upset, like because they want black fighters to support other black fighters. But Jerome Boots Ennis was trying to fight with Terrence Crawford anyway. He was trying to get that super fight with Bud. So I don't think so. I think it's an honor and a pleasure to get sparring with any fighter that has, like you said, has that similar style. So I can first, as far as like if I was Boots, I want to spar with Canelo because he's one of the best fighters ever, and I want to see how I do well against him. And if I happen to be helping you prepare, that's fine. But I want to get the work as well too. That's going to help prepare Boots for the 154-pound weight division, the toughest division in boxing, in my opinion. You got to go against Bakram, Virgil, Sebastian, and Xander, right? So I think he needs that work with Canelo because he's going to be in some stuff with at that division. So it's good for him. And I understand, the fans' points of view, but he's not friends with Crawford, so it's not like they buddies,
No, I absolutely agree, and that's why and like you said, this is a prime opportunity for Boots, especially having not fought at 54, and then getting to work with a legend in the sport. I mean, it's an opportunity for both of them. You know what I'm saying? So I just seen the outrage, and I had to ask you that because it seemed like it's getting a little out of order. The other question. It don't seem like a lot of people as excited as I am, at least, for Canelo and Bud. Do you think that the hype, or for that fight, do you think that the hype is missing? Do you think they start promoting it too early? What's your thoughts on what it seems like the lack of interest from a lot of boxing fans in this fight?
I think a lot of people think it's a mismatch because, Bud is moving up 2 different weight classes. He didn't look so hot against Madrimov. He still won. I still think I felt he won the fight, but he didn't dominate the way he dominated against the Spence fight. So a lot of people are saying, like, this is a money grab and everything, and he can't compete with Canelo. But I think he's going to be winning the fight under the early part of the fight, even though Bud tends to, download the information 3 or 4 rounds, and then he starts to, split you apart and take you apart. But I think as far as the hype and everything, that's why the fans are not so excited. But they say, you know what, we'll take it. And then as we get closer to the fight, it's almost here, September 13th. If Bud if he was able to be successful and beat Canelo Alvarez, then all that talk wouldn't mean anything, or all the hype and everything. But I think that's they feel it's a mismatch. That's why I think it's not getting the hype that it's supposed to. They think Canelo's going to run over him, and I don't think Canelo's going to run over him.
Man,
if he was to beat Canelo, we gotta get an immediate drug test, Johnny.
See, and these are the comments that mess the fans up when people say stuff like this right here. This is the problem.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
Immediate drug test, Johnny.
Because of the snack program you talking about?
No, I'm not casting the Spurs on no programs. I'm just saying if he beats Canelo, I want him to get an IV drug test, man. I want him to get checked out. Make sure he's clean.
Nah, I think Bud is a clean fighter, man.
See, Johnny, you trying to get a suit. I didn't say he wasn't a clean fighter. I said if he beats Canelo, he needs a drug test.
Okay, and we're gonna test Canelo too, because he got caught actually for stuff, right?
Hold on, Johnny. Canelo ate a hamburger, dog, and you doing this? He ate a hamburger.
Clenbuterol, right?
Hold on, Johnny. He had a hamburger, dog.
All right, but a lot of fans don't feel that, right?
These places, man. All the fans say that. All the real fans say that he ate a hamburger and he got sick. And they said he had,
he ate a hamburger that was filled with Clenbuterol.
Yeah, and Eddie Reynoso, 7 of his fighters have tested positive.
Wow, ouch, Johnny, why are you saying that?
That's just the facts. That's what it is. We talking about like steroids and all this stuff, right?
Huh? Wow, my man Johnny trying to agitate something. You trying to push a narrative?
No, I'm just telling you the fact. This is what happened. 7 fighters have been tested positive. Now you do whatever you want with that information.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got my wallet, man. You gotta watch Johnny, man.
Hey, Johnny, let me ask you a question. Let me ask Johnny Boy a question real quick. How do you feel hearing the news that Tio turned down another fight and they said he was looking to make somewhere around $15 million?
What you talking about, the Shakur fight?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
reports that he rejected that fight, that offer, and they said he was supposed to be looking at somewhere around 15 million.
I don't understand. Turkey's willing to pay him whatever he wants just to get him in the ring. You know, those comments that he had, those racial comments, those negative racial comments that he made, almost got him kicked off. Now again, they're offering him all this money. I don't know why Tio doesn't, want to accept these things. But he told, I saw on Twitter, or formerly Twitter X, that he said he accepts the fight with Shakur for January.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
No, that's what I was hearing too.
Then
I was
Shakur
hearing that
came out
same
and said,
thing.
you ain't signed Ish.
So
They
the
ain't
fight,
signed, but he said he agreed to it. He said, "I'll see you in January. I'm taking that fight."
yeah, what I
But
seen.
then right after that, Shakur said, I ain't heard Ish. That's
I
what.
don't know.
That's what.
I'm sure they'll get to it, but that fight, he's either going to be Shakur and Tio or Shakur and Lamont Roach. Watch.
I put it like this: if he fight Lamont Roach, man, he gonna make everybody realize Tank was a hot job, man. Because he gonna destroy Lamont Roach. Dog.
Now, Lamont's my guy. He's a good fighter, though. He's a good fighter.
Oh, come on, bro. You're not the same putting those Shakur, man. Come on.
No.
Puerto Rican
Shakur's
can fight.
on a different. There's levels, but I think he'll give Shakur a good match.
No, Johnny, he'll beat him up.
I like Lamont Roach, man. He's good. He's a good fighter, man. I'm telling you. I gotta go with Shakur, of course, but I think that Lamont Roach is a great fighter. I think he'll put up a good fight.
Well,
As Dub would say, Shakur gonna put hands and feet on Lamont Roach, bro. You talking about?
I do agree. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do agree. I think Shakur gonna put hands and feet on the man, but at the same time, with Lamont having the draw with Tank, and this is kind of transitioning with Lamont having that draw, and then now all of a sudden, hey, I mean Tank fighting Jake Paul instead of rematching Lamont, which I think that's what the fans wanted to see. I don't think anybody gives any credibility to the Jake Paul versus Tank fight. I think that raises Lamont's stock, and so hey, I still want to see that young brother fight, and if he win, he win. You know what I'm saying? But I do think Shakur is the better fighter. I think he's a tad bit more skillful, and if Lamont do what he did against Tank, which styles make fights, but if he do what he did against Tank and just kind of stand his ground, man, Shakur gonna pick that man apart. So you're gonna have to change your style up a tad bit for somebody like a Shakur. But hey, man, I'm looking forward to it regardless. I'm looking forward to all those fights.
Definitely. What was similar to? No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You the man. Go ahead. My bad.
Similar to Lamont and Javante sparring when they were younger. Shakur and Lamont know each other as well in the sparring ring. So there's a lot of tricks that he knows of Shakur. So I think it'll be a lot more competitive than people think. It's not like they never faced each other, and then got a lot of rounds in.
It's one of my favorite shows called The Wire, and there was a guy named Omar, and the guy Slim Charles was talking crazy. And he said, "You gonna make me hurt you, yo." And I think Shakur messing around and hurt Lamont bad, man. He hurt him, man. He hurt him bad, man. Because I think Shakur showed me something with that Willie Zepeda fight, man. He really stood in the pocket and was throwing. But when I heard the baby say he almost knocked you out, was that not the most classic thing you ever heard?
That was funny.
Man, BVO be so far. He be so far out of pocket with these damn questions. Man. It don't even make sense sometimes. It don't even make sense. He be so far out of order. What you got on Johnny? What you got on the Tank and Jake Paul situation? Do you think that's good for boxing? I'm in the category. I don't like it. I want to see Tank fight. The real guys out there, the guys in his division, the other champions. Become unified, something like that. But he's taking, and I understand the man want to get his money. Okay, you get your money, but what's your thoughts on that fight?
My thoughts are, I was interviewing Al Bernstein, and he asked me the same question. All right, you're gonna get $10 million to fight Lamont Roach, but they're gonna give you $50 million to fight Jake Paul. What do? I'm taking the $50 million, but as a fan, as a analyst, I have to say I'm upset. I don't like the fight. I want Lamont to fight the rematch with Tank or Shakur, but I mean, I mean, I want Javante to face either of the two, but $50 million. I mean, how could you say no to that? Would you reject that 50 over 10 to appease the boxing fan or
So,
appease your pocket and your family?
so I'm gonna tell you this, I didn't say this before.
Yeah,
So when Turkey came and Tank said all money ain't good money, right? I need Ferraris and all this kind of stuff. Well, you could have got 20-20 against Devin and Shakur, and it wouldn't have put you quite at the 50. But you still would have been making a big bag, and the boxing fans would respect you so much more if you were to take those two fights. At the end of the day, I understand him taking the money, and if it's me, if it's up to me, and I can do that, I probably would do the same thing. But at the same time, it ain't up to me. I'm just, hey, like you said, I'm an analyst like you. And as a boxing fan, I ain't even no analyst. I'm just a fan, shit. And
yeah,
so, as a fan, it hurt me because I think we done put so much hype on Tank. We ain't seen you prove it yet, bro. Like we just ain't seen you prove it against the best, and that's what we really want to see from you. And so when you go in and fight this exhibition, I mean, it's like, are you gonna come back? What's the reason for you to come back and fight after you make that type of money? I don't expect another fight from Tank after that. I don't, me personally. And so I think at some point in time, you can build your legacy. And if that money wasn't good money at that current moment in time, how is this good money? We got to make it make sense. If you were to make, because Turkey, according to Tank, when he said he needed the two Ferraris, Turkey was willing to offer this man a ton of money to fight at Devin Haney, right? And so that wasn't a good fight for you. That wasn't good money for you. But this is, I guess, the correlation ain't there for me. That's my only problem with all of it.
Well, let me ask you about a real fighter real quick, Johnny. What do you think about what we've seen with Emiliano Vargas?
that's your favorite fighter, right?
No, my favorite fighter is Abdullah Mason.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's my favorite young fighter too, Abdullah Mason.
Jamel Charlo was your favorite fighter.
Are we talking
Who,
about
me
the
or
next generation?
No, I'm talking about BVO.
So, yeah, Jamel's my favorite fighter, but he ain't been fighting, so I got to get somebody else.
Okay.
So what was the question, Emiliano Vargas? If what?
I was saying we was at that fight, what do you think about that performance he had?
That was incredible, man. And I think it's the fastest knockout in like 80 years or something like that, 75 years.
Yeah. Hey,
Crazy.
I thought he took a dive until I seen that guy's eye. Did you see his eye?
Yeah, that was sensational, man. That was excellent knockout.
So let me ask you this: were you surprised that he didn't call Abdullah out, even though Abdullah was front row? I was shocked by that.
Yeah, I thought that he would do that, but I mean, he knows Abdullah's gonna be fighting for the title right now. He's so young. He's what, 22 years old right now. So he's gonna be fighting. He got his hands, he's busy other places right now. But Emiliano, he looked sensational. So he let his fist do the talking, and Abdullah seen it.
Yeah, the part that got me, that the brother came out and sat down in a suit. Man, I said, this dude a star, man. His brother's
Yeah,
a star.
he has that star quality. Yes, he does. He has the looks, the hooks.
Yeah.
And the way he spoke after the fight, the way he shouted his mom out, bigged up his pops, you know what I'm saying, his family, the humbleness in him, you know what I'm saying? That helps build your star power. And man, I appreciate everything he did after that fight.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
We got him on tomorrow. We got his father on tomorrow. But what did you think about how Shushu looked against the African?
Yeah, that was a tough fight that Shushu was in. I'm all for Shushu. I'm Brooklyn, so I got to support the Brooklyn fighters. I'll be biased. I ain't gonna lie. But and I'm really cool with his father as well, and Bruce. They're the best. He's a humble guy and he's nice, and I think he's gonna go. And he's been training since he was a young kid, and he's very disciplined. I had conversations with him off camera, and he just tells me how much he loves the sport and how he's studying fighters like 2 years before he's even gonna face them. Like he's already, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, and he's like watching every single fight. He's really a student of the game, so I like this performance.
Yeah. Speaking of that, just in the overall boxing, do you see anybody that you think can really, really take over the sport? Because I don't know about you, but I kind of get a little worried because I don't really see anybody up You know, you could say maybe Emiliano, but I don't really see anybody that's next up. What about you?
Well, I think next up in a few years will be Abdullah Mason. He's going to get the title. He's going to win this next fight, and he is the future of boxing, in my opinion, man. I'm trying to get out there to Ohio just to be around him so I can interview him and go to his fight, his camp and stuff like that. So I think he's the future. He's well spoken. He knows how to talk. He doesn't get into all the drama. When you ask him questions that are controversial, he knows how to answer correctly, politically correct. So I think he has the power, the speed. He's like a young Ray Leonard, but then he has like the Tommy Hearns, slim frame, the reach, everything. Had that power, 86% knockout ratio. I think he's the future of boxing, man.
Yeah, what you got for Johnny? Free?
No, I was going to ask, what do you think is next for Xander now that he's a title holder, he's a champion at 54? What do you think is next for Xander?
It's dangerous, man, because he fought for that vacant title, right? The WBO, Sebastian Fedor gave it up. He wanted to face him. He went to meet him at his fight, tried to do a face-off. Sebastian didn't want to, have any part of it. And now Virgil Ortiz and Xander are going back and forth at it. Virgil kind of congratulated him, and then he said, but you got the easy way to get to that title. And he said the next time you when you win a title, then you can come talk to me, because Virgil had told him that, before that. So Xander, they're going back and forth. I think it's gonna be it might be Virgil and Xander probably going next.
Man, yeah, Virgil ducking that Rick because, like the man said, he don't want to go to Puerto Rico. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Listen, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute, man. I don't want to hear nothing about no robberies and then like that. We ain't seen the fight yet. We don't know how the fight gonna play out. But at the same time, this man just won the championship. Y'all both seen in New York what his following was, and y'all just spoke to that. So when you go to Puerto Rico, I would figure that the following would be just as big. And what's the problem? I don't see no problem with Virgil having to go to that man home turf for a homecoming fight after he became a champion to challenge that man for his championship. I don't see no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Virgil. This is the second time that Virgil ducked him, because Virgil sent him the contract and said you got an hour to sign, and Xander said he signed it in 10 minutes, and then Virgil went a different route. So, hey, I mean, Virgil talking about, see me when you get a title. This man got a title before you even got a shot at a title. So
exactly,
I don't know what's going on with Virgil right now.
Yeah, but Virgil definitely got to handle his business.
All I can say is this:
this is a sick Negro.
That's all I can say to that, man. But let me ask you this: speaking of Xander, do you see him unifying next, or do you see him taking like an easy, softer touch?
Well, yeah, I think they're going to have him fight somebody in Puerto Rico. They want him to look good and win, because remember, Sabril Matias lost over there to Hitchens, right? Mm-hmm. Not to Hitchens, I'm sorry. Sabril, who did he lose to?
Sabril
Liam Parrow, I'm sorry. Yeah, so they don't want that to happen again. I heard that the fans left all the Puerto Rican flags on the floor when Sabril Matias lost.
No,
that's what the reporters told me, that there was flags all over the floor. So Xander doesn't want to lose in Puerto Rico. So they're gonna probably have him fight a tune-up or somebody that they feel he can beat. But I'm sure he'll take Virgil Ortiz next, or anyone else. He wants to fight. He wants to unify. But I'm sure the Top Rank is gonna get him a title defense.
Hold on, so Matias made people drop the flag?
Yeah, that's what they told. One of the reporters was there. He told me there was flags all over the floor.
He got.
What are they gonna do with him?
I don't know. Who knows?
Take him home. Ain't nowhere to take him. But I'll say it. Go ahead, Doug.
So you said something earlier, Johnny, man.
Yeah.
You said that 154 is the toughest division, right?
Yeah.
And I don't disagree one bit whatsoever with you. I love what we got at 154 right now. I love all the possible matchups that we have there. Who you see reigning supreme in that division? If I hold your feet to the fire and you had to pick a fighter, right?
Other than Virgil.
Hold on, man, calm down. If you had to pick a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Which guy would you pick to reign supreme in the division he beats everybody in that division. Well, I don't think. I think once again, it don't even matter what I think. What you think as far as who
Okay.
reigns supreme in that division?
There's so many tough fighters: Sebastian Fundora, the Giant, Virgil, Xander, Bakram. Don't sleep. Bakram is a killer, man. He destroyed Tim Tszyu. That guy's a nightmare as well. But if I had to bet on bet at all, someone who hasn't fought at 154 but is at 154, it would have to be Jerem Boots Ennis. I think he's the most skilled, the most talented fighter, and I think he's going to rule that division.
Hold on, man. You gotta let the man. You can't even let the guest finish before you start talking crazy.
Johnny's my homeboy.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
This guy's talking about Jerron Ennis. Come on, man.
That's my guy, man. I'm telling you, watch, man, watch.
I can't wait till somebody put him to sleep, man. I can't wait, man.
He's too slick, man. He's a switch hitter just like Crawford. He's too slick.
You say what?
He's too slick. He's a switch hitter just like Crawford.
No did it. I said no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
You know I gotta bet with you, Johnny, man.
Boots all the way, man.
Go ahead, Doug.
Well, okay, man. BVO out of order tonight. BVO in rare form right now. The brother is in rare form. Also sticking to that division, I believe we got Thurman versus the Tower Inferno coming up. Man, do you like that fight? What do you give Keith Thurman a chance to win that fight? How do you see that playing out?
I think Keith Thurman looks sensational in his last performance. It's just he's very injury prone. And in the inactivity, he doesn't fight often enough, because of those injuries. But I think Sebastian Fundora will beat him. But if anybody's going to go out on this shield, it's Keith Thurman because he talks a good game, and then he has to back it up. Like he'll throw everything. He'll try to fight, but I think he loses. I think Sebastian Fundora beats him.
Yeah, I just don't, man. For Keith to win that fight, and I ain't gonna lie to you, because of the inactivity, I call him sometimes Thurman. People say I call him sometimes right now, but because I think Keith, he always been a dog. You're gonna have to fight Sebastian on the inside to some degree to win that fight, and that's what Sebastian do. Some of his best work at is on the inside with them uppercuts. And I watched that man rearrange Lubin face. I say that respectfully. I'm a fan of Lubin. No, I'm serious.
Lubin a tough fighter.
Now I'm a fan of the Hammer, but at the same time, I don't see a path to victory. I see it might be a lucky punch. It might be a lucky overhand that clip like Mendoza had. Outside of that, I don't see a way for Keith Thurman to win that fight. And I think the body shots of Fundora are going to take effect throughout that fight. Do you see a pathway for Keith Thurman?
Like you said, it has to be on the inside. You can't try to fight the Giant. He has that reach, 6'7". He's like a basketball player. So when he shoots the jab, it's already across the ring before you even get set to try to come in. But I interviewed Xander Zayas, and Xander told me that Fundora had eye vision, and that's why he always fights on the inside. Because I was like, why isn't he using his reach? But he said, but now if you notice his last fight, he's using the reach. So now they said he got LASIK surgery or something, and now he can see, and now he's using that. I don't see anybody beating him except for my guy Boots. But I don't think anybody can get close to him. Thurman has to go for the liver shot. That's the only chance that he'll have to beat Sebastian Fundora on the inside.
So when you say you think he can beat Sebastian, is it just me or you forgot about Mendoza beating him dead? You ain't see that?
It was a lucky punch.
He beat Fundora dead.
He did, but Fundora came back beautifully.
Johnny no boxing. Johnny no boxing.
Hold on. Did you see?
I thought he was gonna pass away, Johnny. I thought he was gonna pass away.
Did you see the entire fight? He would get beat pillow to post. He would get beat pillow to post that entire fight and landed a shot.
That's why we love the sport, because it could be just one punch.
Exactly. I agree with you.
That's unfortunately, that's all BVO see is the one punch. That's all he see in every fight. He only see that one punch. He see a person get knocked down in one round. He forget about the rest of the fight. It's only that round. That's the only round that ever matters.
Mendoza was losing that fight. Then to come back and then to beat him dead, it was crazy. I don't know how he caught him, but when he caught him, it was like, dang. But speaking of that, man, what do you think about what's going on in the heavyweight division, man? We got this guy named Moses. We got Obatai at cruiserweight who need to just go ahead and go up to heavyweight. What do you think of what's going on with Moses and all these young guys?
Don't forget my favorite fighter at heavyweight right now, Caballero. Caballero is my guy at heavyweight. Right
Caballero, yeah, he's.
I love Caballero.
Yeah, I mean, I like Moses. He looked sensational the other night. But I think it's gonna be difficult to beat Usyk. Usyk is he's ready, even though he's 38 years old, which is old boxing years. But he's on point, man. It's gonna be difficult to beat him. But Moses has a good chance to to be competitive against him.
I would agree with that. Even though he fought Dillian White, who was half dead, I would say Moses did look good. He looked good.
He looked great.
But go ahead.
Do you think that if it in a fantasy fight, right? It's a fantasy fight right now, but Caballero versus Atama. I hope I say the brother last name. I'm gonna call him Moses like BVO do. Who would you pick in that fight?
That's a close fight, man. Both fighters are great, but I have to lean towards Moses, man.
Okay. He run it down the middle a lot too, so I ain't mad at him. But I'm telling you, man, I think Caballero tougher than people give him credit for. To break Big Bang down like he did, to break down what's the big Russian guy name? I can't remember his name now. Damn, I call his name in the other.
You talking about the Russian dude? I mean,
No, he like 6'7". He like 6'7".
The one that always crack his neck. The one that always crack his neck.
That one right there. Hey, broke him down to the body, man. I think that the body work that he does is lost in the sport of boxing to some degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody's a headhunter.
Yeah, everybody looking for that big shot, and we know, hey, if you break when you put that water in that tank, it start to weigh you down. You know what I'm saying? And his latest stoppages, they ain't came from knockouts to the head. It came from body shots. You know what I'm saying? Working the body continuously, taking shots in that high guard. Man, I think I'm a big fan of Caballero, man. He seemed like one of the old school guys to me.
You think he beats Moses?
I ain't say that. I ain't going that far. I will say, if I had to put, I would make it a 60-40 fight for Moses.
Okay.
I think Moses, he's so loose and powerful. I don't think he try to be powerful at times. You know what I'm saying? He just try to touch you, but we seen against Dillian White. When he touched Dillian White didn't know what the hell was going on. Respectfully. I say that respectfully.
He disappeared.
So all I'm saying is I think it's a tough fight for both of them. That's the matchup. I think if it came to Joseph Parker and Caballero or Moses, I got both of them being Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I agree.
I got Caballero beating Usyk right now, me personally.
No way, really?
I do.
No way.
I'm telling y'all my opinion.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be a good fight though.
I could be out of order. And
that brother must have had a chocolate milk or something, man.
If Usyk go out there and put hands on Caballero, I ain't got no problem with it. I like Usyk. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, man, Caballero remind me of the old school guys, man. He gonna go through the fire. You know what I'm saying? He gonna stick to his game plan. And that body work is different from him than any other heavyweight that we've seen that we seeing right now. And so I'm a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? I like to see that type of work. So that's why I would say that. But at the end of the day, I could be very wrong. for that.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. I'm gonna show you two pictures, John. I don't know if you can see your phone, but I'm gonna show you this picture. I don't know if you see this, man. We had my man Tommy, man. He had tears in his eyes, man, when he was with Zach.
I was there with him. I was there. I was right there. That was after the fight.
Was he crying hard like they said?
A little bit. Nah.
I seen him crying when he met Walter, so I wasn't sure if he was crying harder when he met the Puerto Rican or he met the brother.
Nah, he was good.
And we got one more picture, man. We got my man Prize and the future Keith Cologne. What you think about this kid, Keith Cologne, man?
Oh man, I'm real close with Keith. I interview him all the time, you know, and his father always calls me all the time. So Keith, I'm a big fan of him. I love the way he moves. He's focused. He's in college. He's doing boxing. Like he's just a good kid all around. He didn't have all the outside things going on. You know, girlfriend problems, street problems. You know, these fighters, these young guys, especially come in. He's in Newark, right? So you know, you're in the ghetto, you're in the hood, and you know you get caught up with all these friends. He's just a good kid, and I think he has all the talent, all the skill. He has his father in his corner. I mean, I think he's gonna go really far, man.
Salute to my brother Prize, father saying salute to the guys, man.
Shout out
Speaking
to
of Keith,
Prize,
the
man.
only
Shout out
thing
to
that
Prize.
worried me about Keith is it's like we had my man Noah Ash on. He kind of was feeling bad because he was like, you know, I didn't really go to school. I'm like, F them books, man. I don't know. Do you think that Keith being a civilized man will work against him? Because boxing is a very dangerous sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think that help him, man. But he keeps him grounded. You know, he knows what he wants in his life. He's dedicated to that. He's putting in work in school and in the gym. And when I was on the phone with him, he had just come from Brooklyn getting some work, doing some sparring at Cops and Kids in Flatbush, and he was going home, and then they're gonna train again. I'm like, yo, this kid is like, he's focused, man. When they want to train and they not, you know, smoking, drinking, hanging out with girls and all. They just focus on the craft. Those are the good fighters, man. Those are the ones that go really far. The ones that are really focused. And I see him like that. I think that's gonna help him. You know.
Speaking on
Yeah,
Keith,
I
man.
totally agree. Go ahead.
Speaking on Keith, it's interesting because the way he fought in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Not really a knockout guy, or hey, and the amateurs is
Yeah.
totally different than what the pros are. But now that he done moved to the pros, the man done became a knockout artist. Some type of. I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
he
His
just he
style
done,
suits that.
and so were you surprised by the stoppages that he getting versus kind of what the amateurs were for him, and how it translated, how his style really suits the professional style more than the amateur style.
It definitely does. And when I speak to him, I always ask him, "Yo, we gonna get another knockout? Like you making it too easy for these, like for these, you blowing these guys out." And he's like, "Yo, I don't focus on the knockout. If it presents itself, I take it." But he got dynamite in his hands, and he knows how to place those shots. I think it's the timing and you know the precision, and he just knows where to throw them punches, man. And he's taking these guys out. It's just the pros is where he needs to be at. That style it suits him well, you know.
Absolutely. And the other thing, like you said, it ain't even all about the power. It's about the accuracy, the timing. I love the focus and the timing that he has. Man, I can't wait to see this young brother continue his career. I think he got a good future in the sport, but it's so refreshing to see a guy who does have a future in the sport, in my personal opinion, also make sure I got something to fall back on and putting the work in on both fronts. And man, that can't be easy. When you talk to him, and we've talked to him a few times, but when you talk to him, what type of sense do you get as far as the dynamic of being in school as well as being a professional boxer now? What's the sense that you get from it?
I just think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself by going to school and then going straight to the gym right after that. Like I did an interview with him. He was at college. I think he's at Rutgers, right? So he's like,
Yeah.
yo, I had to sneak into a private room just to get this interview. Now I'm going straight to the gym. Like you don't have to do that, especially if you're that talented. A lot of these fighters, they just focus on boxing. That's all they want to do. But he's doing both, you know, so he could learn the business of boxing because, you know, you have to know, you know, school is gonna help him in his career, his professional in boxing and in business side of it. You know what I mean? So you want to know what you're doing, when I speak to him and his father, they're like, "We're not signing to this promoter yet. We're doing this." Like I see their plan, their game plan. They're really intelligent, and I think that he's just gonna do phenomenal. You know, and that he's putting the pressure on himself by going to school and doing boxing. So I like that, man. About it. I was really impressed with him because me personally, I'm not gonna do school. I'm just gonna focus on boxing. That you know, this is my ticket, and I'm just gonna school. I never really liked school. A lot of these kids don't like school. So I could understand if he didn't do it, but man, he's going to school and he has to do homework and turn in these papers and really take it serious and get a good grades. Man, he's just a phenomenal kid. That's what separates him, I think, from all the other fighters. That's what I like about him, actually.
And as we spoke on some of these other fighters, so well spoken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And doesn't need anybody help to speak. He do his interviews by himself. I ain't calling no names or nothing like that. But same way we were kind of talking about Abdullah, just understanding how to present yourself. I think that young man is special. Me personally, I agree with you.
Definitely. These are good. I like these good kids because I was a knucklehead when I was young. So I wasn't well spoken and I'm still not well spoken. But I mean, these
Me
kids are like, I love to see when they're not getting in trouble and they have their father there guiding them and helping them make those decisions. It just makes them a better fighter. The ones that are wild and they got to that level, but there's no like rules. There's no system to keep them in check. But I think
either.
with his father and his discipline, I think I think he's gonna be champion, man. I think he's gonna have a wonderful future in boxing.
Even real quick, last point to speak on Abdullah. When I listened to him give his interview at one point in time, he had his brothers up there with him, father in the back. You know what I'm saying? He shot all his brothers out. You know what I'm saying? Telling, hey, if it weren't for them, it wouldn't be no me. And so he passing that credit around. And I think that one of his brothers, I don't want to mess the names up because but I think he got 4 other brothers. I say that respectfully.
Yeah.
And so, but the way he gives credit and speaks on their abilities as well, man, I think that family, they have a great father over there. And man, I love to see it. Like BVO said, we got Shushu father tomorrow. I hope I'm gonna be able to be a part of that interview. I don't know if I'm going to, but we'll see what happens. But that's another one of them guys who the fathers in boxing, man, are so important. And I want to ask you this because I asked Brian Norman Sr. this, and this wasn't even about Junior. This was more about what's my boy name, man? Oh, he from up around your way too. Oh man, I can't call his name now.
Talking about Floyd Scope.
No, not Schofield. Up in New York, man. Oh
Richardson
man,
Hitchens.
no, not Richardson. And fought on top rank for the longest. He still fight on top rank. He got a loss. I think he got 2 losses. Well, he got 1 loss and a draw, I believe. Damn.
Jermaine Ortiz?
Nah, not Jermaine Ortiz, man.
Chris
Y'all know it.
Colbert. Chris Colbert.
No. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. When I find the name, I'm gonna tell you. But
Yeah.
I listen to the fathers speak to their sons sometimes, and there are times where I heard this guy he's talking to his father in the middle of the fight. You know what I'm saying? And having the ear of your son, I always thought that was something special. But when you have the ear of your son, you can say certain things that don't always sound good to the fans. One time, Brian Norman Sr. told Junior, "Well, go figure it out, then." And that whole "go figure it out," it wasn't we hadn't trained for this or this is on you. It was, now you know what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And so what's your thoughts on the fathers having their ears in the sport of boxing?
Well, I just interviewed Brian Norman Sr. and I think he's a great for his father. But I think sometimes the father-son relationship can mess up the fighter, like Teofimo and Teo Sr. Sometimes Teo Sr. is like too aggressive and controlling, and he doesn't give Teo Jr. He doesn't give him freedom to do what he wants to do and to make his own choices. But Brian Norman Sr., I think he's phenomenal. Abdullah Mason's father and his brothers, I speak to all of them all the time. Amir is the oldest of them, and I asked him about the girls, and I asked him about hanging out. What do you guys think about being in New York City? And he's like, yo, we just don't think about that way. We focus on boxing. We family. We think about family. It's really noisy here. So when I hear that, I'm like, yo, these guys are in the house. They're not hanging out, going to clubs and hanging out like some of these other younger fighters. You know what I mean? Like Adrian Broner or something like that. You don't have to worry about that. And the father in the corner, that relationship where they so tight, those are good relationships. I think like Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia, he wouldn't give him freedom to move around sometimes. But particularly Teo Sr. and Teo Jr., that relationship, I think if he would bring in another coach, I think that Teo could get even better.
And Jahad Tucker, that's exactly, I appreciate, shout out to my brother TD Sports. Jahad Tucker is who I was speaking on. I apologize for not being able to
yeah.
But I watched Jahad Tucker in the ring, and he's talking to his dad in the middle of the round. You know what I'm saying? and gaining points. And I got you. Yeah, all right, I see it. And I just think, man, and I agree with you. It depends on the father. It depends on the relationship because I said previously that I thought that Devin would do better if he had somebody else in his corner instead of Bill. At the same time, I understand, and my whole thing was, man, you can have somebody else, have that person tell Bill, and have Bill tell Devin because Bill got Devin ear. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the same thing with Jahai, with Junior, with even with the young brother, the Mason brothers. And so, but also having that discipline instilled in you, I think is a beautiful thing. And then I get long winded with it. I apologize to you, Johnny.
No, it's all good. I love it, man.
But when you have that, and like you said, bringing other individuals in, how do you balance that? And I know you can't say exactly how, but in your opinion, how would you balance that when your father is no longer the person giving you the instruction or something like that? How do you balance that as a fighter, in your opinion?
Well, for example, like Yoel Judah, I'm always with him in Brooklyn, and he was working with Devin Haney for the Kambosos fights, right? So they
Agreed.
brought him in, and he was helping Bill out, and they would work together. And he told me, he said, Bill knows what he's doing, I know what I'm doing, and Bill lets me, jump in, and he jumps in, so we play it perfect. And I think that's when, if you bring in a fighter like that, and Bill, they both help each other, I think that'll be more beneficial to that Devin, like that type of situation. But when the father's too overpowering and he's not giving the son any chances, they can't even have a difference of opinion, I think that's when it becomes a problem. But
And other thing I want to ask, because a lot of these,
I
go ahead.
definitely agree with that. But what I will say is I'm just excited about what we seeing in boxing. What we seeing, it's almost like a shift to what we seeing a lot of guys kind of be responsible. Actually, you're gonna get the most out of their career. We don't see as many guys like my man Mayorga. I kind of missed it a little bit, but it's like that across the board. These kids are really good kids, and I'm kind of excited about it. What about you, Johnny?
about fighters like you said, Mayorga.
No, I'm saying that we're seeing a lot of nice kids get into the sport. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's phenomenal, man. Because I mean, it's good to get the kids that are bad, like the ones that get in trouble, and to get them some discipline and get them into the sport. Like even Richardson Hitchens said he just wanted to learn how to fight, so he walked into a gym, and that's how I came into the gym. I just wanted to learn how to fight so I could fight in the street. So it takes you away. So that's good. I think I like fighters like Mason and these good kids that they're well spoken and they love the sport. I think it's great.
The only thing about Mason that get me is that he's a merman. He doesn't talk a lot, and I think to be big in boxing, you got to do a little more talking than that. But we're gonna see what happens, man. He's still young.
But I think that the 86% knockout ratio, that power speaks for itself. If you can deliver, and then you're still well spoken, he'll talk a little bit more, as his PR team, talks to him and lets him know, what to do to get more exposure and stuff. But I think his skills are so great that that'll talk for him, a lot. It'll bring in a lot of fans.
And I think that because of social media now, so
Yes, it helps.
we used to say back in the day, fighters had to talk more, doing those type of things. But because of social media now, he's gonna get the exposure, and then with him being as humble as he is, I think he gains even more of a fan base. Same way, like we brought up earlier. You know what I'm saying? That humbleness, I think a lot of people really appreciate that because you can knock somebody out, but can you talk to people respectfully? You know what I'm saying? Can you be in order when you have conversation? And I think that helps them instead of hurting them.
I agree with that, man.
But
if you
before we
can
get
be
out of here,
cocky, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, if you're a real cocky fighter, you better be able to learn. You better be able to get them knockouts and stuff because as soon as you lose, people going to attack you and go crazy. So I like the humbleness.
Yeah. So you got anything for Johnny Free?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask him. With Top Rank not being with ESPN now, You think they're gonna land a platform or a network deal because they got a large stable that's sitting around right now waiting for some dates. You think they're gonna come out with an announcement of them landing a deal with another platform?
Well, I interviewed Bob Arum and I asked him that exact question, and he said that everything's going to streaming, so they're working on some deals right now, but he can't say anything right now. So he said that's where the future is. So I don't know exactly where they're going to end up, but that's what he's working on. That's what he said.
Yeah, 'cause they got a
Smash the like
lot
button,
of fighters
everybody.
waiting for some dates.
Definitely. But Bob is smart and his team is smart. They've been in this game, I think, since 1966. So he knows what's going on. They'll have everything set up, and shortly we'll see all his fighters on TV.
Yeah. You got anything, Doug? Before we get out of here.
Well, real quick, since we brought up Top Rank, PBC, and we'll bring up. I want to bring up PBC and the Zone real quick for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
It seemed like we getting a few fights here and there from PBC. The Zone, we getting a few fights here and there. Seemed like Turkey is starting to kind of monopolize the sport. Jake Paul, I'm just gonna be honest, MVP Promotions, they put on more fights this past weekend than anybody else did. And so I mean, it is what it is. So how do you see all of it going as far as who do you think has the upper hand in a lot of this outside of, and I'm going to leave, if you want to speak on Turkey, you can, but who do you think has the upper hand in these situations? And because even David Benavidez, we seen him being sent over to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? We see Javante Tank Davis, he fighting on Netflix when I thought the PBC had an Amazon deal. That's what I believe is the truth, but it don't seem to be coming to fruition just yet. What's your thoughts on all of those situations as far as promotional companies go?
I think Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's the one that's leading everything because he has the big bucks. You got to remember, they're pumping that oil every day. While we speaking, that oil is being pumped. So that's a never-ending river of money that's never going to stop flowing. And he had talked about buying everyone out, but giving $1 billion to Bob Arum, $1 billion to Oscar De La Hoya, $1 billion to the PBC. And because they didn't work with each other for so long, it was like a Cold War. De La Hoya and then PBC and Top Rank Bob Arum, they didn't want to work. Now they're all willing to work. But guess what? Turkey's here now. And now these fighters have gotten a taste of all this money. And now it's going to be very difficult for them to start working together. So, PBC, I know they have problems. They ran out of that hedge fund money without Heyman. And then all their fighters have left. And they have a few. They have David Benavidez. Oscar De La Hoya, he sold the Ring magazine in Turkey. So I think Turkey has the upper hand. And now that Dana White has jumped in, I just interviewed Tom Loeffler earlier today. They're going to take over with the TKO boxing. They got that head. And Dana's all in. He got that $7 billion deal. I mean, they should have never let Dana White in. He's going to pay these fighters $20,000 for that was the card. $20,000 for the lower tier fighters, and then $750,000 for championship fights. So they'll pay you the $20 million now, but at the other fighters, when they control the sport, they're just throwing out all this money, it seems. And then at the end, everybody's going to be under contract, and you're going to be getting paid peanuts, man. And I think it's wrong because the fighters are the ones that put their lives on the line. And now that they let Dana White and Turkey together, they're going to be running boxing, man. That's my opinion.
Hey, shout out to Miss BVO. I don't know if you got to meet her, Johnny. Shout out to Miss BVO.
Oh, Miss BVO. Hey, how you doing?
Miss BVO.
God bless.
Salute to Miss BVO.
Salute to Miss BVO.
We had a ball. We had a ball to fight. I think my favorite part of the fight was I did not know that Puerto Rican Tommy knew everybody. I did not know
that. Hey, hold on. I'm glad BVO said that.
Selling hot dogs, knew all the ushers. Hey, they might as well call that Tommy's house, man.
I'm glad you said that. Be real quick, Tom. I mean, Johnny, I almost called you Tommy. I apologize to you. But what's your favorite part? What's your favorite part of covering the sport? You do such a good job at covering it, getting the interviews, those type of things. What's your favorite part about it?
Just being around the fighters, man. Even if I wasn't doing interviews, and thank you for that too, man. But I'll be stuttering. I'll be so nervous. I'll be so excited and happy that I'm around the fighters. Thomas could tell you this too. It's just being around there. I've been going to the fights for 26 years as a fan. But now that I get to interview them, be backstage, and you get to chop it up with them off camera, on camera, it's just like, man, they didn't have to pay me anything. I would have did this for free just to be in the atmosphere around the fighter. I just love the sport and just being around it. That's my favorite part.
I'm gonna tell you, look, so Javante versus Jake Paul is in Atlanta. I'm a Georgia boy, respectfully. I'm a Georgia boy, right? And I'm debating on going to the fight. I said I can't support it. The only reason I can't support it, I don't look at Jake Paul as a real fighter. It's a circus show, in my personal opinion. But if I can get some type of credentials, I'm gonna be there because I want to talk to the people. I want to talk to the individuals that's there. You know, it's gonna be packed out as far as the fighters that's gonna be there. And so that's that's my saving grace, because outside of that, I ain't going to this fight. I just can't fix my heart to go to the fight as a true boxing fan. But if I get those opportunities, hey, to be in those rooms, then I gotta take them.
You have to, man. It's gonna be a star-studded event. I don't like the whole thing, but there's gonna be so many other people there, celebrities that we can interview. So it's just gonna be, you can't just think about the Tank and the Jake Paul. Sure, we're not gonna get what we want, but there's gonna be so many opportunities to meet people and talk to the fans that it's worth going, I think.
Have you heard any? Last point, real quick. My bad. Have you heard anything about the undercard?
No, not yet. I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay, go ahead, Free. My bad.
No, I was going to ask you, how you feel about Danny Garcia making his return back to the ring?
No, I think Danny had a hell of a career. He made a lot of money, and I think he has a promotional company now. I think he should just stick with the promoting. But if he wants to come in, for one last payday, I don't mind that. Just to feed his family. But I want these fighters to walk away and not be having the slurred speech and they're not able to talk and have all their functions. You know what I mean? So I don't think Danny should do it. Yeah. I think he did a hell of a job in his boxing career.
Danny's up next, man.
Who Danny fighting? Who he fighting?
I don't think he have an opponent yet, but I know he's supposed to be fighting at the Barclay, but he doesn't. They haven't announced his opponent yet.
Well, I'll support him, but I don't want to see these fighters keep fighting. Keep continue to get hurt.
I don't want to see the man take a knee again, bro. The man quit, and I say it respectfully. Man quit against Wilder. He quit.
What Wilder say? He quit.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to see the man have to necessarily, quote unquote, go out on his shield. I don't want to see that either. I like Dennis Swift. I like Swift. But the
corner should have stopped it. His father should have stopped it.
But his father was the one telling him to keep pushing.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know if Angel be knowing what be going on, man. Angel like to have a little taste, man. He might have.
Oh man, we ain't gonna cast no aspersions on nobody.
You messed up, man.
We ain't gonna cast no aspersions.
Shout out to Angel, man. Angel like that Hennessy, man. He a Hennessy man.
Oh man,
security. Where's security at right now? No, hey, we can't even get.
But I'll tell you something funny though, Johnny. That I will say that I had the funniest thing at the fight was when Xander Loin, I was coming up. He said, "Hold on, man, ain't no security over here. This dude talking to me." So ain't no security.
He thought you was security.
Yeah.
You can get around though using that security angle.
Yeah, I could. One thing I will say that was fun. I couldn't believe how little the fighters were, man. It was kind of cool. They was all little guys, man. I was like, wow,
bro. We 6'5", bro. We 6'5".
Yeah,
but Richard Torres is like Richard Torres is super short, man.
He's 6'2", bro. He's 6'2", 6'1".
I guess you're right. I guess I'm looking to see. I'm thinking I'm about to see Big Daddy Bowles or Lennox Lewis's. No, I didn't see that at all.
Bro, you looking for Tyson Fury out this month?
Yeah, 6'9". I'm tall heavyweights.
Man, look, when Senior fought Greg Hackett, right? I was standing there talking to Junior and what's my boy's name? Damn, I can't call his name right now either. Tay Jones. I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm like, bro, these niggas live as hell. Which is, I mean, but then I gotta realize, man, boxing ain't a big guy sport. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't a heavyweight, then 9 times out of 10, outside of Sebastian Fundora, you're gonna be smaller than me.
Yeah, that's true. The heavyweights are pretty short now, though.
I'll say on that note, man, I appreciate you coming through, Johnny. You one of my favorite Puerto Ricans, man. I said it all the time. Good guy, man. And we probably see you in a couple months, man.
Yeah,
Where can
definitely,
everybody
man.
find you?
Oh,
Where can
Johnny
everybody
Boy
find you?
Quick. Yeah, Johnny Boy Quick on Instagram and Johnny Boy Boxing on YouTube. You check me out.
So check him out, man. He's a Puerto Rican. He just like he do like his fighters. He's pretty fair. So check him out. That's my guy, Johnny Boy.
Hey,
That's it,
man,
man. I appreciate all of you, man. Thank you for having me on, guys.
brother, we appreciate you, man. The knowledge that you bring, the perspective that you bring, man. It's much love and respect to you. Keep doing your thing, and we're gonna support you regardless, man. Appreciate you, brother.
That's it, man. I'm gonna see you in Atlanta, man.
Hey, I'm
thanks for
probably
confirming
gonna end up there. I'm probably gonna end up there.
Hey, thanks for confirming that fact that Tommy was crying, man, because he tried to say he wasn't. But I
You
heard
trying to say he wasn't, right?
I appreciate you. If you can, man, he's watching, man. Shout him out, man. Shout him out. My man TD.
Yo, Tommy from the Bronx, man. The best in the business. Tommy, what's up?
Shout out to TD, man.
Hey, man, we heard you was crying, man. We heard you was crying, bro. We heard you was crying.
I ain't heard none of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on, let me show you the picture. You see the picture here? You can see
I don't
it
see
in
no
Tommy's
tears.
face. He
I
had
see no
tears
tears.
streaming out his face. I thought he was an anime. He was crying so hard.
Tears of joy. Tears of joy.
Hey, one thing, you know, the Puerto Ricans gonna stick together, man. On that note, it's your boy BVO Boxing. It's your boy Dub Right Side, Puerto Rican Free, Puerto Rican Johnny, and we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Salute.
Salute, fam.
Salute.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit RayconGlobal.com. That's RayconGlobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?